Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Let's go.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
G'day.
We caught up with Logie hopeful Mel Bracewell this morning.
did, actually, yep.
We're going to speak to people that tried to pick up a celebrity.
Oh, that's funny, actually.
And also someone that got bought a soft drink.
And that story will blow you away. Plus, people that got invited to something and they're like, oh, no, absolutely not.
That's right. Griffin Logue joins us from the Dockers as well for a bit of a chat on a Friday.
Nice.
And you know what? We might chuck your sport in, Shaun, because we get stuck into some stuff that's on sale at school fates.
Oh.
Very important stuff and could solve the netball problem.
This is Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Being huge Perth celebrities, it's so hard for us sometimes because we're constantly getting hit on.
It's just
When was the last time you went on a date?
Over a decade ago? Probably more than that.
That was a
And that was because they lost a
That's
bet.
a date. I'm not saying I'm not hit on every 5 seconds.
No.
Oh, you're
I'd
knocking them
imagine
back
so.
left, right,
I'd
and centre, are
imagine
you?
Yeah, not really. So Robert Irwin, right, just
His
doing what
DMs
he's
are open,
doing,
just
doing
scrolling.
what he's doing at Australia Zoo, right? And
Wrestling
then-
Crocs, taking names.
Yep, a woman who was besotted by him, a Utah tourist, Megan Grass, was like, hey, I like a bit of him, and she decided to engage in a little bit of flirtation.
I think you're so cute. I was wondering if I could have your number.
Well, I'm very flattered. Thank you. Where are you visiting from?
America.
Oh, nice. That's good. Whereabouts?
Utah.
Cool. Oh, no, Utah's great. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. The easiest way is usually like on Instagram, because then like people can look at it and monitor it and see when it comes through.
Okay.
Because my number's hit and miss.
Okay, this is so random, but I actually DM'd you last night to tell you I was coming here today.
Oh, no. Okay, well, what was your name?
Megan Grass.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Perfect.
No worries.
Thank you.
Right.
She shot her
Sure you
shot.
will, Robert.
She shot her shot.
Can I
you know
have
what
your
I mean?
number? And then Robert says, my number's pretty hit and miss.
Yeah.
His number's pretty hit
crashing and burning
Unless you
love.
live in the Nullarbor.
Back away.
He was trying to. He was treading water for so long.
Very,
wasn't he?
very,
And
very
my
gracious.
people will monitor it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? You've never been more accessible to celebrities now.
That's
with
right.
sliding into someone's DMs.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, if we wanted to tell a celebrity we love them, we'd have to write them fan mail
Yes, we would.
Yes.
and then just never know if it ever got
Yeah,
to them.
or wait till that day that, they did an appearance at the shopping centre and hope
Yeah.
hope that they spot you out of the crowd.
Yeah. We want to know. And you know what? Fortune favours the brave.
Yeah.
100%.
It can do.
Have you guys checked out whatif.com's top 10 winter weekenders yet?
Yeah, how good's a what if tip? Fraser Coast is in there, Coral Coast, Bruny Island, maybe Orange.
Yeah, look, book your winter getaway on the What If app.
What if? It's Aussie for travel.
We are talking about shooting your shot with a celebrity, basically going, yeah, I reckon I love them so much and I think they would love me if they got to know me, so I'm going to ask them out.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I'm never in a million years would even try with a normal person, let alone a celebrity. My fear of rejection is crippling. Natasha Zamira, hi, Tash. How are you going?
Yeah, good guys. How you going?
Good,
Great,
Tash.
Tash. Okay, who was it that you set your sights on?
The famous Peter Brock. My
Hero
absolute
5.
crush growing up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was a competition at Marlowe's back in the day, and you had to buy a particular oil to go in the competition.
Yes.
So I purposely bought this oil, entered it, thought it's got no chance of winning at all. It was fly over to Sydney to have lunch with Brocky at the Sydney Opera House.
Yes.
So I flew over there.
You
I had
won
my
it?
nails done. Yeah, I won it, yeah.
Oh,
So I flew over there, took all my Holden gear for him to sign, had my nails done, wore my little black dress, I thought I looked pretty hot.
Yes.
Having lunch with Brocky, I was sitting next to him at lunch and he says to me, we're just having a chat and everything, and, trying to hold it together because I was
Yeah.
in such a...
Playing it cool, yeah.
Yeah, playing it cool, trying to.
Yeah.
And I showed him a photo of my Holden Statesman and it's me leaning against it.
Yes.
And I turned to him and I say, not bad for 20 years old, hey? And he goes, what, you or the car?
oh,
It just made me so giddy because there's this man I love.
Yeah.
And, and then there he is going, oh, what, you or the car? And I always just took that as
exactly.
as
How old
such a
were you?
compliment.
How old were you at the time?
Probably 30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
oh, that's
I
a
think,
The car was
good
like 20 years
compliment.
old. And, yeah.
Oh,
It's a
It's a bit of a ladies' man in his
that's
day
my
too.
brush with fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Much to his wife's dismay.
No,
but
she
yes.
wasn't too happy with that.
But you know what?
It's a
Now
champ.
look, now hearing stories like this, smooth.
Yeah, very
I know,
smooth.
right?
That
Exactly.
would have been the smoothest ride of the day.
It all makes sense. Good work, Tash. Thank you. Jacob's in a Luca. Morning, Jacob.
Morning, how are you?
Good,
Right,
Jacob.
Who's the celebrity you set your sights on?
So I actually made a TikTok not too long ago, and it was about Madison Beer, the
Okay.
singer model.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was saying how she was pretty attractive and that, and then she actually commented with a few love hearts. I got
Oh!
my hopes up.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
So, Madison Beer, Shaun, 31.5 million followers on Instagram. Think about that. And then imagine how many messages she gets.
Yes.
She's
She gets back
commented,
to Jacob.
Jacob, she's hot as chips.
Oh, well, yeah, no crap.
Spotting the obvious there.
He knows.
So, Jacob, what was the message to her again? What did you do?
It was a TikTok video
Yeah.
saying that she's just really attractive, and it didn't actually get that many views, and then she managed to see it somehow.
Jacob, do you think that
Jacob.
maybe, do you reckon she might have liked the look of what Jacob had to offer?
Has to.
Jacob, be honest. Are you a good-looking man?
I wouldn't say so myself, but, I'll take what I can get.
But each to their own, there's someone for everyone.
Mate.
I know.
And,
Sorry.
Madison's got her beer goggles on, maybe.
Sorry.
That's when I do my best work.
Jacob, we're calling it's a romance, right? You're on.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
100%.
You know
So,
what?
I'm gonna
did you
marry
comment
her.
or was
I'm
it just
going to marry
emojis?
her.
What was her response?
It was just emojis.
Yeah. No, but that's,
Yeah,
the
but
language
you know
of
what?
love.
It was 2 eggplants and that water
And a peach.
emoji and the water emoji, and a peach. It was weird.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We are talking about when you thought, hey, that celebrity's pretty hot. I'm going to have a crack. Courtney's in Bedfordale. Hello.
Hello, how are you guys?
Great.
Hey,
Courtney, all right, set the scene, Courtney. We're excited.
All right, so it's a few years ago now when I wasn't married, if my husband's listening.
So last night, what happened?
I was up at about midnight and I was just scrolling through Instagram and the honey badger, I follow him, one of his photos popped up and I just randomly liked it.
Yeah.
And then immediately I get a message in my inbox saying, bit late to be up, huh? And I was like, oh my God.
He must have checked you out straight away, Courtney.
Yes.
Oh, she's handy.
Yeah, I was pretty excited because it would have been like 3 a.m. over East.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hey. And then he just never replied. And then I kept messaging, nothing. And then I tried to do it every night after that. Like, I stayed up really late and then he just ghosted me after that. But that was my little brush with fate.
So he
Got you through that night, eh?
he threw one little thing out there and then just ghosted you. He must have got a better response from someone else.
You know what it was? You must have, he commented and then you responded and then at that moment at his house, some naked hot chick walked
Yes,
in.
he was.
And he goes, oh, okay, I'll do that.
That looks a bit easier.
I'll just do that one then.
It was essentially a you up, but then he realised that you were in Perth and it wasn't going to cut it.
Yeah. He got one delivered through Uber Eats.
That's right. That's right. Oh, nice work, Courtney. Thank you. Tracy, hello.
Morning, how you going?
Hey,
Great,
Tracy.
Trace. Okay, talk to us. Who are we talking about here?
We're talking about Brent Harvey, Boomer Harvey from
Boomer.
North Melbourne.
Yes.
Boomer. Long-time North Melbourne fan at the footy, age 17, so a fair few years ago.
Yeah.
And we're at the Irish Club after for a function, and I'm like, so Boomer, can I buy you a drink?
Oh.
And he's like, oh, yeah, sure.
Oh.
Yeah, 17, can't buy one. Shit, what do I do?
Oh,
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And he's like, would you like a lemonade? I'm like, yes, please.
oh.
So me and my girlfriend are standing there. Boomer Harvey's brought us lemonade each. I'm like, oh, my God, it's Boomer Harvey. And to this day, I've still got the photo of him with all my other North Melbourne boys.
Yes.
And then, lo and behold, years later, I'm down at the Armidale Footy Club, and who comes down for training but it's Winston Abraham. So and I'm like, oh, my God, Winnie! So once again, another brush with North Melbourne.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I just, that's my story. I don't have, it's pretty much, most people find it a bit sad.
Yeah.
Laughing with you.
Tracy, I mean, when you say most people, I think, yeah, there's a lot.
So, look at it straight. He bought your lemonade.
Yep.
Yeah, so Boom bought your
And
lemonade,
then
and
a
then
completely
separately
different
you're running
time
to
at a
Winston
completely
Abraham.
different place. Winston Abraham was there.
And Tracy, when you threw in the Winston Abraham, the other guys were like, Nathan's like, what?
He came down for training, and he ended up being our coach for a while. So I was doing all the rub downs, and he's like, "Oh, would you mind doing my hammies?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah, I do your glutes as well.
No worries, mate. If you buy me a Fanta.
Thanks, Tracy.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
The Logies are on Sunday, and one of these Kiwis, kind of trying to come here and take all our Logies.
Yes.
Start with the cheap seats. Melanie Bracewell joins us. Morning, Mel.
Morning. Oh no! What an intro.
Do you feel really bad about taking a Logie off of an Australian, a hard-working Australian?
I didn't realise this was going to be the angle of the interview.
I mean, to be fair, you are up against the Puerto Rican expert from Married at First Sight as well, so you're not the only one swanning in.
I looked this up. I looked up the award, and the last Logie, one of the Jonas Brothers was nominated for this award.
I know, for Best New Talent. Joe Jonas, I remember the year.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds like a real platform to spring the rest of your career to then, Melanie.
Exactly. I think people should just, start a career somewhere else, pop over to Australia, win a couple of awards, and then bugger off again.
You know what? Imagine if Joe Jonas won that Logie for Best New Talent. Where would that have ended up? He would not.
I do not know.
He wouldn't have used it as a doorstop.
Wouldn't even
know.
It is quite a hit because I work at the same office as have you been paying attention, and they've got a couple. It's very heavy. It would make a good doorstop.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Have you carved out a spot to put it?
I would put her on a mantle.
Would you? Yeah.
No, but I like the doorstop situation because it's a bit of a humble brag when people come over and it's like, wait, thanks for opening the door. Oh, what's that, a Logie? Yeah, it's nothing really.
It's nothing.
There's someone, I think there's even I don't know if it's Beyonce or someone who keeps their awards in the bathroom so that their guests can see it.
See, if Joe Jonas won his Logie and he kept it in the bathroom, it would have been to wipe his ass with it.
In fact, we had the same discussion over here, Melanie, with all the awards we've won. But we just haven't won the awards yet.
We haven't won anything.
So when we do win something eventually, after
20 years, haven't won a thing.
Not one thing,
they're going in the bathroom.
Nothing.
Nice.
Yeah.
You are favourite too, by the way, so that's not a bad place to be.
Yeah, I didn't realise this until someone sent me the betting odds on it, and I'm like, oh wow, that's fascinating. So I've put all my life savings into it. So
it's a lot riding on it.
If you don't want me to be financially ruined, give me a vote.
It's the least you can do.
And of course, the scary thing about any odds that are put on someone is a late scratching. Are you are you being very careful heading up to the Logies?
What is a late scratching? What does that mean?
It means right at the last minute she's pulled out of the race for some reason. It could be something. You might get cancelled.
Positive drug test.
Could have broken your leg and have to be shot.
Oh my God. These are not things that I thought about. The worst case scenario I'm thinking about is if I'm having a spray tan today, and if it's too orange, I might have to just not go.
They go wrong too often.
It's on the Gold Coast, though. I would think that's on brand.
Yeah, true. That's the reason why I'm getting the tan. I'm like, I will look so pale on the Gold Coast.
Hey, Mel, how's your touring been going? I know, Nat, you went and saw
I saw
Mel.
your show here. We're right across the road from the Regal Theatre. Came and saw your show, and it was great.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that was so cool. It was nice. I had never come to WA before, and then I loved it. It was such a nice crowd, and I didn't know if anyone knew me over there. I don't know.
Did you at all feel bad about taking a booking that was put in place from an Australian comedian that night that was trying to do their show and feed their Australian family?
Yeah, every time I wake up in the house I'm renting, I think I'm taking a rental away
from an Australian. Hey, I want to talk about your Insta. We're at 112,000 followers, everybody.
Good.
So she's fair down the influencer road.
Oh, really?
Well, I just want to know, because we work with an influencer here, 100% Tim. Check him out. He's slowly...
He's a TikTok hero.
Yeah, slowly gaining some traction. He gets hit up by a few different companies. Do you get a lot of people wanting you to flog their stuff, Bracewell?
Not really. I think it's one of those things where sometimes people just, give you an offer of something for free, and then you're not obligated to post about it. But I would feel so bad to go,
Yeah, I'll take that, and then never mention it.
Oh my God, it's something good.
Now, I get these. I get DM collab, right? So DM collab and a question mark, and then it's always, and I don't know what the Instagram is doing and what other people are seeing, but it's always hip hop bling furniture. Furniture, but hip hop bling jewelry.
Yeah.
No, hip hop bling jewelry. It's always like big chains with diamonds on them and stuff, and it's like, Shaun,
you're not Tupac,
are you rocking the chain?
No.
Well, they've noticed a vacancy on your neck, and I've got something for that.
Maybe I was just thinking about it. Maybe it's because your name is Nathan Morris, and when you Google that, it could be the guy from Boys to Men.
I know, but you look at the pictures and realise that tall white man is not the guy from Boys to Men.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Hey, Mel, how's the netball career going? Because I know you're a solid player. I mean, not national or anything, but good. You do all right at social netball, don't you?
Overwhelming praise. Yeah, whatever you can catch a ball. It's good. I'm playing a bit more socially here, but in New Zealand I took it very seriously. But it's good. We played a game last night, lost by 3 points, but it's fine. I'm not bitter about it, and I'm not upset, and I'm not actually crying right now, so it's fine.
Mel, you're from a sporting background. You're a family with the cricket over in New Zealand, champions everywhere.
Yes.
So
It's quite big shoes to fill, I guess.
Yeah.
And you're doing it on the netball court. What position are you playing?
Goalkeeper. I'm very tall.
She's
I'm
tall,
6'2", so it makes sense.
Gets up on her toes, defends the high ball.
Look,
love it.
Everyone, this is part of the reason why she's nominated.
Well, she tries to defend. She gives it a go.
I noticed that, your arch rival is Tony Armstrong, and he's put out a thing the other day saying he's going back to play grassroots football. I think he's intimidated by your grassroots netball story.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Keep humble, Get out of the spotlight of television. Get back to the footy.
Yeah. He sees you as a threat, Kylie.
Yeah. Well, good luck on your Logie. Just FYI, you took this interview spot from a hardworking Australian celebrity that would like to have spruiked their thing to make money for their Australian family.
Don't feel bad or anything. But everybody's welcome here, obviously.
Everyone's welcome. Everyone, vote number 1, Melanie Bracewell.
Good on you, Mel. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Our new Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, has been very busy. He's going to Europe to discuss global security later this month.
Yep.
He's due to travel to Madrid for a NATO summit, with a side trip to France to repair relations with Emmanuel Macron.
Okay, yep.
Because we've stuffed him up with that whole submarine thing. He's pretty upset with us. Anyway, so of course he's going to be travelling around Europe, and the Ukrainian ambassador has gotten wind of this.
Oh, great.
And has contacted Anthony and said, we would like to extend invitation from our president, Volodymyr Zelensky, for you to come and join us for a lovely cup of tea in the Ukraine, in Kiev.
BYO
bulletproof vest.
Black jacket,
Now, I don't know what Anthony Albanese is going to say.
I mean, he's a very diplomatic man.
I would personally say, thanks, but I'm busy.
You'd come up with anything, wouldn't you?
There are some
no chance.
invitations that come your way where you quickly assess the situation and shut that down.
You're just good.
I mean, you though, Nathan, are not very good at saying no to people, so you would be the one who would be going,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
sure,
good.
what time?
Yeah, you would actually.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
We want to know.
In your bike helmet. Your cup of tea. You do like tea, to be fair.
Holding an umbrella to protect myself from the bombs, because that's what a parasol will do.
That's right. Famously.
I'm sorry, going somewhere that is so dangerous that ducking won't help.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd imagine people would have been in that situation, being invited to a wedding somewhere that might be in a really dangerous spot, and you're like,
Or an ex has gone out with got a new partner, and they've invited you out for coffee, and
it's like, no.
And you haven't moved on yet?
No.
Like, why are you serious?
No, I don't want to meet your new partner.
What's the problem? Or being invited to something terrible for work because they think it's going to be a lot of fun, and you're like, no. You people are rubbish.
Or like Niece's dance concerts.
Those
concerts, like, I get it. They're great and everything, and it's beautiful.
If you're their parent,
they're so long.
If you are the parent of a child, you're going to enjoy anything they do. Don't drag us along with it.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun in podcast form.
So Anthony Albanese got invited by the Ukrainian ambassador to visit Ukraine when he's touring Europe.
Yep. To come say hello to the president.
And it's like,
on the front line.
why doesn't he come here?
Maybe when everything's settled down a little bit, I can make it.
Yeah, so it's super busy.
Talking about those invites that come your way where it doesn't even take any thought, you just shut it down. It's like, nope, that's not happening. Sorry.
Hi, Kayla.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey, good
Kayla.
Okay, what did you get invited to that you were like, oh, thanks, but no thanks?
I actually got invited to be my ex-partner's best man or best woman at his wedding.
What?
Oh, Kayla, so
Wait,
obviously
what?
you've still got a strong relationship then.
Well, it was pretty much just after we'd broken up mutually. It was all a good breakup and stuff like that. And I'd met my new partner who I've been with for 10 years now. And, he was like, oh, yeah, I want you to be my best man. You're my first pick. And I was like, well, thank you for the offer. But no, I'm going to, decline that because it's just a little bit awkward.
Can you imagine the bride's face
I know. She wouldn't have been happy
when
with
she finds
that.
out that the ex is the best man?
Your refusal was probably more so for her sake. I think that was actually really nice for you. Right, nice of you to do that.
He did say that I could bring my new partner along to the wedding as well. So I just thought it would have been like a double awkwardness.
Isn't that amazing? People,
he's deluded.
He is. But he's feel like,
does he just not have any friends? Why doesn't he have any friends?
I don't think that was one of the decisions he ran by his new partner.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, okay, that's a good, Kayla.
Extraordinary, Kayla.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Stacey.
Morning. How are you?
Great, Stacey. I'm excited to see what you shut down.
Yeah. Well, we actually got to this invite before we shut it down. So my partner and I were invited to my gym Christmas party.
Yes.
And we were like, yeah, awesome. It was just like an unofficial Facebook invite, like no sort of formal things up. And
so having a drink for Christmas all together.
Yeah, having a drink for Christmas, all good. So I messaged the girl for the address. And she's like, yeah, come around at about 3.
Yes.
So we get round to her house and turn up, and I bought a little housewarm, like a little plant gift, post gift. And we get in the door, and she's like, hey, guys, come in. And I introduce her to my husband. She's like, yeah, come in. And she grabs a bowl off the dresser.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, pop your keys in.
Oh, no.
Is she serious?
I absolutely said that.
No.
Yep.
Well, that's fun.
Were there other keys in the bowl,
funny.
or were you the first ones there?
There were other keys in the bowl. And my husband just looked at me like, what the hell is this?
Well, we know what it is.
I knew what was going on. And she was like, and I went,
can I have my plant back?
I would have said, I will in a second. We're double parked.
And she was like, come on, guys, come through. So I very hesitantly just put the keys in the bowl and we walked through.
Well, because you don't know if that's exactly where your mind's taking you. It's odd.
What else could it be, Shaun?
I don't know. It could be some kind of lucky dip of sorts.
Oh, what?
It is. That's exactly what it is.
For dinner later, they're having a key salad. No, we know what a key in a bowl is.
So you walked out to the room. What was the story?
Yeah, so everybody was just kind of having, it was very casual sort of drinks at this point too, which was good. So we got a drink, and my husband had literally not stopped squeezing my hand, like he was like going to kill me.
Yes.
And we got a drink and was very awkwardly talking to some of the other people that were there. And the second the host was out of sight, we were like, got to call, got to go, grabbed the keys and ran.
Right.
I never went back to the gym.
Imagine it on the way out.
You're still paying your membership.
On the way out, you look into another room, you go, are they doing Pilates? Is that the downward dog?
They're very flexible, though. That's not how you do a burpee. What's happening?
Oh, no.
Stacey, that is mortifying. You think going to have Christmas drinks with your gym buddies is going to be a safe exercise.
Yeah.
But too many hip thrusts for my liking.
You've got
to do them to keep the glutes strong, Nat.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
We are talking about when you got invited to something and you're like, oh, that's lovely, thank you for the invitation, but absolutely not.
Yes. We did it with our boss that we hated, and not the one that's sitting with us right now, David McClung. Even though
we
he's
love
leaving
him.
to go to Melbourne. It's like, what's that for?
I remember, because I got invited by the same boss and you guys said no.
Yeah.
No,
Shaun was like all about what excuse do you make? And then we showed him, it was a masterclass where this guy said, I'm having a barbecue, would you like to come over? And Nellie and I went, no. And he goes, you have something on? And we said, no.
That was it. It was a great masterclass.
And then we said to Shaun, you are absolutely not to go to that man's house.
And we shut it down. Hi, Simona.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Hey.
All right. What did you get invited to?
So it wasn't me. It was actually my husband. My ex-sister-in-law asked if he would father her children.
Okay. So give us the...
Well, that's pretty full on.
Her ex-sister-in-law?
Okay, so my ex-sister-in-law. So it's my husband's ex.
Yep.
My husband's brother's ex.
Yep.
Your husband's brother's ex.
And she came over for dinner one day. I was 18 weeks pregnant with our first son.
Oh,
and
so she
goes,
knew that it worked. Yep.
She knew that it worked, 100%. And she's like, if I wanted to have kids, do you think your husband would be interested in giving me his,
Mate,
and I'm
donation. Actually, to be honest, we've got a jar in the pantry. I'll just go grab it.
I mean, keep it in the fridge, Nathan. We're not animals.
And I looked at her and I'm like, excuse me? And she goes, oh, yeah, your husband's just really good looking. And I just want to have his kids. I'm like, that's not happening.
No.
Oh, jeez.
No. He's mine. And I politely said, we don't share very well. Like, we're not kids and we don't share.
Oh, my gosh. That's very confronting, isn't it?
You handled that okay then, Simone, because you could get up and just start throwing cut lunches and usher her out the door.
And I looked at my husband and he's like, what did she just ask? And I'm like, you really don't want to know.
Well, maybe he would have said yeah. What happens if he said yeah? No,
yeah, but this is the thing. Over in the US, it's an actor or whatever. Anyway, and I can't think of their names, but his wife, her best friend, couldn't get pregnant. So then she offered
him up
her husband and said, you can have a child with her. And the husband ended up shutting it down because the husband was like, no.
No, that's weird.
Because then they were still super best friends, and then she didn't have a child to her husband, but yet her best friend would have a child to the husband.
Absolutely not.
Wow.
It was so strange.
Yeah, that is.
Okay, that's
Simona.
great.
Vivian, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good Viv.
Okay, what happened?
Well, this was a few years back in New Zealand. A friend and I were invited to a 21st birthday party.
Yes.
And it was for everyone that loved the beach and the sun and the sand, but it was in a private rural property.
Yep.
So when we arrived, we had to press the buzzer to the gates. The gates opened and we walked in and everyone was naked. It was a Sun Seekers Love Club, which was totally embarrassing. There was no way in hell I was going to strip down to show everybody my curves when you've got all these people standing in front of you that look just so freaking hideous. So my friend was ready to stay. Yeah. She can stay, okay. I declined and turned around and left. So the friend that invited us is no longer a friend.
Oh, that was the end of the friendship. So was there no inkling in the invitation at all, Viv?
Nothing. And see, I was brought up by the beach and the sand and think, well, this is wonderful. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go through the gates and everyone, from young to old, is absolutely naked.
Oh, there's
and
a
you
lot
know
of skin
what?
getting around there.
And if something like that is on the cards, give the people a heads up so they can get Jim's
most
mowing in.
definitely.
That's exactly. That's the maintenance that needs to be adhered to.
Viv, can you say hideous one more time, please? Because I enjoyed that.
The what?
Hideous?
Absolutely hideous.
It was hideous, and I love that, Viv.
Thank you,
All right,
Viv.
let's finish off with Tony from Hamilton Hill. Hi, Tony.
How you going?
Good
tones. Okay, what were you invited to that you were like, no, that's a hard no?
My wife and I were invited to a wedding over in the Philippines. It's good friends of ours. They live down in Mindanao, which is meant to be a little bit dangerous, but they assured us it was fine.
Yeah.
So we agreed to go over, and we're about to go over, and where the island they were going to have the wedding on, the two, I think they were Chinese businessmen, got abducted and killed just before the wedding was due.
Tony.
So we kindly denied the invitation.
I think that was a wise decision in hindsight.
I think so, yeah. They ended up having a great time, and they didn't stay on that island for very long. They got off.
10 minutes. We're out of here.
And you know, especially the fact of, I mean, they were businessmen that were killed. So everyone at the wedding are wearing suits, so you can't really tell who's not a businessman and who is a businessman.
That's right.
Even if
and you just stick out as foreigners. Yeah.
That's right. Suit and tie, so anyway.
Not going to a possible mate. I'm just glad you survived.
The abduction wedding, that's up there.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
After a couple of lazy days on the couch, the big man Griffin Logue is back at training today. He's going to put it all out on the line and get back into action for next weekend's game. Good morning to you, Griff.
Good morning. How are you?
Hello, Griffy. What's going on?
Hey.
What's happening?
Nah, not much.
Yeah.
As Shaun touched on, a few days on the couch. Pretty much it. Just rest the.
You didn't go away or anything?
No, not really. The weather's kind of too crappy and been down south.
Have you got
too many times? Nothing else to really do.
Sure.
Have you just got the one couch or you got two couches?
Two couches.
Two couches. So each of you can lie on there, and they're obviously long enough for your long body.
Gigantic frames, the pair of you?
Yeah, they're massive.
Are they fabric or are they leather?
Fabric.
I hate a leather couch.
One's a Jardin. Bloody nice.
One's a Jardin.
Who gets the Jardin? Is it whoever's played the best? Is that how you decide?
I get the Jardin.
And what's the other one?
I don't know. I think
IKEA.
I've got it from the Verge.
So you get the Jardin because the one that's got a squirrel in it.
pretty good Verge collection in the Golden Triangle, though.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's really good.
If someone's got some dust on one of their bloody like flat screens, they chuck it out. It's like, it's dirty.
Hey, Griff, you are mentioning about your flatmate, of course. That's Matt Taberner, who is likely to play this weekend for Peel. Hasn't played for a while. He's playing?
I'm actually not sure. He's pretty hard to get a word out of. So I think so. I think it's been hinted at, but I know he's been training just to get a few miles in the legs. So he hasn't had much of a break, the poor bugger. But I think it could be happening. Yeah.
Can you tell everyone what happened last time? Tabs played for Peel Thunder.
Down at that Steel Blue Oval.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't think it was the last time he played, but fairly recent enough that some people on the Cam bar down at Swan Districts were giving him a bit of flack. And they're pretty ruthless down there, so you can't blame him. And I think he put one through the middle and kicked a goal and kind of just looked over at the Cam bar. Was still copping a bit of shit, so he just flipped the bird at him and just let him know about it.
He flipped the bird at the Can bar at Bassendean Oval. He's a brave man.
Yeah.
He got fine though, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, it's a full fine job and everything. Obviously can't do that, but I think back then it's only $50, so I think it's
$50.
pretty well.
I think we're right.
Yeah.
Hey, Griff, I saw that you threw a lifeline to a washed-up old player who's done nothing with his life and put him on your podcast the other day.
Geez, it wasn't much of a lifeline. We had to pretty hard to get a hold of the man. I don't know how you guys go about getting a hold of him,
Mate,
but no,
we can't even get him in the studio most mornings.
It was Shaun McManus, of course.
I was half expecting him to pull a sick day, to be honest, but he was great. It was funny. Yeah, saw a good side of him, so it's always good to get him on.
Not many people get to see a good side of him.
I did sign up for a 5-part series, Griff, so you are aware of that, aren't you?
This isn't the West Murder podcast, Sean.
No worries.
Or the Tiny Pinda Chronicles, I would hope.
Send the invoice, mate. Send the invoice. We would have got you on, Nathan, but you're about 228 games short.
Is that the bare minimum, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, sometimes, I mean, like, my view on football, like...
it's unique.
It's unique.
Yeah,
and Shaun, sometimes I cut through all the jargon.
Yes, absolutely. The footy speak that people like to throw up, he ditches that.
I ditch that, and I see a problem, I give a solution. It's some people can't take it, and obviously you're one of them, Griff, so don't worry about it.
You've just got it all figured out, haven't you, mate?
Yeah. And what's it called again? What's your podcast called again?
Old Bull, Young Buck.
That's right, and that sounds too gay for me. So, as I've said before.
Even he has his limits.
So I'm not going to walk in there. It sounds like a podcast you should take your pants off for.
Oh, yeah, Shaun did, but it's not required, but it's an optional extra.
Yeah, definitely.
How was it sitting on Griff's knee?
Just like last time.
So you're like a ventriloquist dummy, weren't you?
In the photo of you between David Mundy and Griffin Logue, you look tiny.
I wish I had that again because I morphed into the background and the boys were forward to the camera. It was just a big mistake, yeah. I look like a midget.
We put you in a bigger shirt as well, so I reckon that even made you look even a bit smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? So Griff has his own hoodies and stuff like that, but they couldn't.
They've got merch.
Harry's got the photo if you want to see how tiny I look now.
Oh, that's actually, you look like your bloody cousin Rove's size.
Yeah. Straight out of the microwave.
Get shrunk in the wash.
Might have to adjust that one, Griff.
We'll put it up on our socials so everyone can enjoy that.
We'll have to blow it up a bit.
How many of Shaun's can you fit on the Jarden? So I think 3 Shaun's length to length.
Yeah, I agree. So, Griff, you have been sitting idle for a couple of days. Are you? Do you think the body's going to be able to handle getting back out there again?
Yeah, no. We still went for a run here and there and went to the gym and whatnot. So it's
did some goal kicking.
Eh? So I'm going to take more than a few days of goal kicking just to get good at that. That's a tough skill. That is hard.
Is Tabs giving you any pointers or what?
Yeah, he can. He's a great shot at goal, but I guess everyone's different with their own routine and stuff. But yeah, I reckon it's probably something I've been practicing a little bit, and I'll keep doing it because it's good fun up there.
More glory. That's for sure.
It. Absolutely. Well, good luck next week. We'll catch you obviously next week ahead of your first game back against Carlton. That'll be, and enjoy training for the rest of the weekend.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Catch you, Griff.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Bit of an around the grounds to start with. We're starting with football, and the West Coast Eagles celebrate 30 years since their first flag, so 1992. I think you can almost remember what you can remember. Yeah,
that I was living in Melbourne. Yeah. Imagine what that was like.
Yeah.
Because the Victorians spat the dummy by and large. They hated the fact that it was the first non-Victorian team to win a premiership. They hated that fact. Yeah. Hated it with a passion. It was so great.
Do you remember that? You would remember that, Nathan. You're not a football head, but it just was so big at the time.
I remember it, yeah. So how long ago was it? It was like
30 years.
30 years this weekend.
30 years ago, I remember I had to watch it.
Well, it wasn't 30 years this weekend.
I was a guy's house, Julian and all of our friends were watching it, and all of them were so into it, and I remember just sitting there going, when's this
going to end?
When's this going to end?
Shaun,
they're celebrating 30 years this weekend.
Yes, but it's 30 years in September.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, there's been all these celebrations.
I can't believe I had to explain that to you.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. So 30 years, so they're having all the players come over. Peter Matera's had a heart problem, so he wasn't able to make it. But yeah, it was such a big deal for the state at the time.
It was extraordinary.
Hope they have a good time. They're playing Geelong, who was the team they played against in that grand final 1992 this weekend. They're playing Geelong. Although Geelong are in 5th position and West Coast are currently last on the ladder, currently, this team. But that's the interesting part. The other thing with that is Geelong haven't beaten West Coast over here in a long time. In fact, they've only won once in their last 7 games against West Coast here. Could this be an upset for the celebrations? Probably not.
But they've got some big ins, West Coast.
Yeah, they have, but it's going to take more than that. Yeah. Moving on to basketball now, and Andrew Gaze has been elevated from the NBL
Hall of Fame
to a legend of the NBL.
What took them so long?
Yeah, well,
seriously, he's the man.
He's the man. His dad is one of 6 people that has been elevated to legend status, and he's joined him.
Wow, yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. 5-time Olympian. He played 300 games for Australia, and he won the MVP title 7 times.
Yeah, it's extraordinary.
I've said this before. Once they start giving you accolades like that, it feels like the vultures are circling.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think someo's going, do you reckon he's going to die soon? Probably.
Let's get him.
Let's get him while he's still alive so we can thank us.
Normally they wait till they're dead and they go, oh.
Yeah. We should have done this while he was still around, yeah.
And lastly, Netball Australia, there's been some articles over the West Coast saying, and I talked about this the other day, how Netball Australia, they're taking the money from our government so they can put some money in their coffers. So they have lost in the vicinity of about $11 million. Yeah. So they had... they're down $4 million over the last year or so, and they had over $7 million in the bank, and that's all kind of gone at the moment. Yes. So they're in all sorts of...
So that's why they sold off the rights to that grand final so readily.
Yeah.
It's they literally just needed the cash.
In the last, I think it was 2019 and 2020, they also had federal money handed to them to keep the competition going. So they are in all sorts.
So what are they going to do? Money chains, cake stalls? What's happening?
Well, you would think there'd be a cake stall to kick things off. Yeah. I'm not sure about Sausage Sizzle because, perhaps.
Oh, because netballers don't eat sausages.
Well, they do down at Fremantle. They have the sausage sizzle, but I think more so the canteen and the cake store makes the most of the money.
You had a cake store at school. What would your mum send in?
She would make chocolate cupcakes. That would be her go.
Chocolate
for
cupcakes.
sure.
What about you, Nat?
Mum was pretty handy as a baker, so she'd do all sorts of different slices and
Yeah,
things.
right.
Yeah,
Mum would be the butterfly cakes.
But she's famous for a carrot cake.
I know, which is
My
weird.
mum did a good butterfly cake too with mock cream.
Yeah, yeah.
I love mock cream.
Yeah, me too.
Good luck to Netball Australia. They've got a lot of things to turn around.
Oh, and
some
chocolate
people-
crackles.
Yeah, well,
I like
they're a given.
Chocolate
Yeah.
crackles. That's the lazy parents' contribution.
It works though.
Yeah.
It works. Very effective. Kids love it. Netball Australia have got a lot of work to do. They are in
Like,
all
if they-
sorts of
if they
trouble,
go
and
belly
it's
up, what
absolutely
happens?
horrendous. The federal government will have to bail them out, and all state governments might have to chip in to keep
Yeah.
this competition
Yeah,
going.
right.
Remember, they ditched the New Zealand leagues.
Yes.
The Trans-Tasman League, as it was. So Sky Sports over in New Zealand were paying $3 million to cover the games, and all that money's gone. Plus, payer payments are at 92.8%. So Fox Sports are the only one who cover it. 92% or nearly 93% of that money from Fox Sports just goes directly to players.
so they're-
it's hard to sustain the
So
teams.
what if every Australian made a plate of chocolate crackles and
Yep.
went and sold it to their neighbour?
Who had also made a plate of
them. And then it's just this ongoing thing.
Okay, so say there's a plate of 10 chocolate crackles.
Yes.
Are you selling them for $1 each? Are you selling them for more? What?
These
$10.
days they up the price,
Yeah.
don't they? But no, I think $10. 10 chocolate crackles, $10.
Yeah. So every Australian has to go out, buy the ingredients for chocolate crackles,
Yes.
make the chocolate crackers,
Yeah.
crackles, sell them to their neighbour, and
Yeah.
also then buy them
Buy
off their
them at
neighbour.
their neighbour. I suppose you could just give Netball
Donate them.
Australia $10,
Donate that.
but I mean,
Well, even more because it's costing you more.
and you won't have to make or buy chocolate crackles.
Well, that's a different way of looking at it. Do you know, if
But you know what? Chocolate crackles.
yeah, chocolate crackles.
When's the last time you had one? You know what I mean?
If every player that is registered to play netball around the country had to pay a levy of $1 only, that would put Netball Australia, is it in the black? I guess.
I don't know
Whatever
that
colour it
there's
is.
11 million registered players.
God, there'd have to be, there'd be a fair few. Well, it'd take them out of Dire Straits anyway.
Okay, but what if every person that plays in Netball in Australia made a plate of chocolate crackles?
And sold them to
sold them
Nathan.
for $1 each.
We'd have to make sure
10
the
plates,
price-
sold
the
them
price
for
point-
$1 each.
Yeah, okay.
Then we're talking.
I see what you're doing. This is a Ponzi scheme if I've ever seen it.
This is Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
It's Friday, of course, so at this time of the week, we like to invite to the microphone the one and only Harry Fitzgerald, who presses the buttons for us.
Good
Big H.
morning,
Hello,
everyone.
Harry, what a great week we've had.
How'd you like the week, guys?
I mean, we got there in the end.
Yeah, it was long.
It was long.
Yeah.
5 days.
But you know, you had the best seats in the house.
Yeah.
I had the best seats
You
in the
must be
house.
so excited every week.
So much material to work with, isn't it?
It's always tough. Lots of gold on the cutting room floor, as
Really?
I say. But
Really?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
cold?
Yeah, there was some
cold?
gold. There was something we spoke about Tuesday that was...
this the elephant?
This is the elephant. Sometimes
the elephant in the room.
Sometimes I wonder if I should have maybe used my business degree and, could afford heating at my house. But sometimes I'm crying of laughter in here and really enjoying myself like the elephant story.
If you haven't heard about the elephant and the old lady, you can download, was that Tuesday? Tuesday's podcast, Nathan, Nat and Shaun, and have a listen to us trying to get through something very serious while our producer Amy pisses herself laughing.
It's very unprofessional.
It was too serious to make the debrief, but this stuff did.
It's Friday, of course, so at this time of the week, we like to invite to the microphone the one and only Harry Fitzgerald, who presses the buttons for us.
Good morning, everyone.
Harry, what a great week we've had.
How'd you like the week, guys?
I mean, we got there in the end.
Yeah, it was long.
It was long.
Yeah.
5 days.
But you know, you had the best seats in the house.
Yeah.
I had the best seats in
You
the
must be
house.
so excited every week.
So much material to work with, isn't it?
It's always tough. Lots of gold on the cutting room floor, as
Really?
I say. But
Really?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
cold?
Yeah, there was some
cold?
gold. There was something we spoke about Tuesday that was...
this the elephant?
This is the elephant.
the elephant in the room.
Sometimes I wonder if I should have maybe used my business degree and, could afford heating at my house. But sometimes I'm crying of laughter in here and really enjoying myself like the elephant story.
If you haven't heard about the elephant and the old lady, you can download, was that Tuesday? Tuesday's podcast, Nathan, Nat and Shaun, and have a listen to us trying to get through something very serious while our producer Amy pisses herself laughing.
It's very unprofessional.
It was too serious to make the debrief, but this stuff did.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun's Weekly Debrief.
Earlier this week, Nathan, Nat and Shaun were talking about the times you were stuck in a horrible place or situation with no options at all. They then got a phone call from...
Lorenzo, hello.
Hello, how are you guys?
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo told a great story about his bed bug ordeal in Italy, but then slightly overstayed his welcome by adding a few more unnecessary details, even straying from English at one stage.
Papa, blah, 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 I can't talk Italian.
Well, it sounded like you're fluent.
I thought you were right. Yeah.
Lorenzo also had a huge crack at his wife, but didn't seem too worried.
She doesn't listen to 93, so I'm pretty safe.
Oh, thank God.
What is she doing? What other breakfast team keeps you up to date on the latest and greatest biscuits?
I was at Coles the other day and I read an article about this New Zealand guy that said the Coles brand cookies are absolutely amazing that come in a box. Anyway, and I got a packet over the weekend. They are unbelievable. Anyway, they were so good. I've had to spray and wipe them and throw them in the bin. That's the only way.
The second biggest Freo Docker legend ever, second after Shane Parker, joined the guys on Wednesday to celebrate his induction into the Australian Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Good morning, Pav.
What happens when they ring you?
So Richard Goyder, the chair of the AFL, he said, you've been nominated to be inducted to the Australian Football Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Do you accept it? I was like, yeah, of course.
It takes a special kind of player to earn themselves a spot in the Hall of Fame, but it takes the most unique of humans to secure a place in Nathan, Nat and Shaun's Competition Hall of Shame. Enter Mike from Atterdale, who gave his all when competing in a round of Club Classic Cool, the game where you had to identify what popular song was being played by an orchestra.
Mike?
Yes, Mike?
I'm going to say it's Harry Styles.
We need the title.
You do need the title, and I don't have it.
Not quite, Mike. Let's keep it going.
Anybody?
Mike?
Yes, Mike?
As it was?
No, Mike. No, Mike.
I can't hurt to double check.
Can we confirm it's Harry Styles?
Yeah. All right, yes, it's Harry Styles.
Well, there is $1,000 on the line here, Mike. We can't blame you for wanting to be absolutely sure.
So it's definitely not As It Was.
No, we've established that.
Yeah, but we can say it again if you like.
All right, that's just about enough of that. By the way, it was Harry Styles' sign at the Times, but maybe Mike just needed a fresh start. A new song.
Mike?
Yes, Mike?
No, I got nothing.
All right.
So, obviously, Mike's opponent, Chantel, ended up winning, but for the record, it wasn't really a win. She just lost a little bit less than Mike did.
So it's definitely not As It Was.
That was the debrief, and all thanks to...
Mike?
Yes, Mike?
We know exactly why Lorenzo said this about his wife.
She doesn't listen to 93.
Actually, Lorenzo, it's 937, mate. Get it right.
Papa, blah, 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 I can't talk Italian.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.